You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
New Zealand all-rounder Jimmy Neesham out of the Black Caps camp. Thanks for joining us, Jimmy. I guess rain is a fact of life for cricketers. How was the feeling, though, when you leave the ground, as you had to last night, without any result possible?
G'day, mate. Annoying, obviously, given the situation in the series, I guess. But, yeah, it is what it is. Can't control it all that much. So just got to hope things are a little bit better in a couple of days' time and we can get out there and equal the series, I guess, 1-1 and keep a pretty good home record intact.
Can you take anything out of the 11 overs that you did play that might be useful ahead of Game 3?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously get a bit of a look at the wicket, a bit of a feel for how it was playing, even though it had a bit of moisture on top of it for half the innings. But, yeah, obviously Saif got a bit of a run and got a bit of confidence. And yeah, we sort of go on to the next one, yeah, with a little bit more knowledge about the conditions. But, yeah, not too much overall. We'll still come out in a couple of days' time in a day game, which is obviously slightly different, and sort of start from scratch.
Yeah, watching Daryl Mitchell and Glenn Phillips bat near the end, it seemed a tricky wicket to bat on, but was that largely due to the conditions, the fact it was raining pretty heavily when they were out there?
Yeah, it was a little bit ridiculous towards the end there, to be honest. But, yeah, I think they were obviously between a rock and a hard place, I guess, with, the Duckworth-Lewis, potentially coming into play later on and sort of a little bit stuck on how to play the situation, really, because you can obviously, continue to go hard and try and get back up on Duckworth-Lewis or try and protect your wickets. So, yeah, a bit of a tricky situation, but, yeah, it's obviously a bit hard when you're trying to bat and you've got rain coming down and hitting you in the face and when the bowler's running in and that kind of thing. So, yeah, probably won't read too much into that because they've both been, pretty outstanding performers for us for a long time. So, yeah, not too worried about that.
Bangladesh, talk to me a bit about them. Where have the big improvements come in their white ball game in particular that you've perceived?
Well, I mean, obviously they've got the ball moving at the top of the innings, I think. And Napier, obviously, they benefited from a couple of good toss wins, a couple of important toss wins, and yeah, got the best of the conditions with it moving around a lot at the start of the game. And obviously, that movement was pretty hard to handle, for our top order. So, yeah, they've certainly improved in that department. I suppose their batting as well, as they've gotten a lot better at the short ball, especially, which, of tours in the past, you could pretty much just pick guys that bowled over 140 and bowl short for most of the day, and you're going to have some success. But they've obviously worked on that as well. Yeah, they've got a pretty tidy outfit these days. So certainly no easy beats, and yeah, we'll still be yeah, obviously concentrating on what we do best in a couple of days' time, and looking to end the series 1-1.
You got 48 off 29 in game one, top scoring for New Zealand. What did you do in that game that I guess allowed you to score runs when others found it a bit more difficult?
I mean, it's always a bit of a benefit when you get a look at the conditions first before you get out there. I think, yeah, we potentially might have been aiming a little bit high for that wicket initially. I think it was a pretty tough wicket to bat on, which it proved in the power play. And once you've, I suppose, lost those early wickets, you can have the confidence to take a bit more time and you give yourself an opportunity to get in. And obviously, I managed to do that. And then once you get towards that back end of the game and you've got the momentum back, obviously you can be a bit more aggressive, towards seamers especially. So I think it's one of those things where, sometimes it sucks to bat six and you don't get much of a chance, and other times you get a bit of an early look before you get out there. So yeah, it's the pros and the cons, I guess.
And you got a bowl in Napier as well, picked up a wicket and then didn't get any more overs. What is your? I've been trying to work out what your role to play is as a bowler in this T20 side. Is it just whatever is needed?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever is needed, I think. A lot of the time, we're picking a five bowler makeup, which obviously renders the all-rounder, I suppose, less needed. When Michael Bracewell's available, obviously we have the ability to pick the two all-rounders, one spin, one seam, and pick one fewer specialist bowler. So I'm certain that, well, not certain, but I suppose that once he comes back into the mix from injury in a few days' time, then we'll look at that makeup again. But for me, it's just doing what's required at the time, whether it's, sometimes it's in the back end of the power play, sometimes it can be, the 19th or the 20th. But yeah, it is what it is. Just do what has to be done to to give the team the best chance of winning, basically.
You always seem to get wickets, though, Jimmy. I mean, your strike rate's, I think, 18.5. That's right up there. Is it something you specifically target in T20, bowling wicket-taking deliveries?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, myself and Tim Sowley had a conversation a year or so ago about what my role was with the ball in T20 cricket, and he said, I'd rather that you get 1 for 15 off an over than none for 10. So, it's certainly about trying to, I suppose, break partnerships, try and get guys to hit it up in the air. And, the nature of that role is that you're going to go for runs every now and then when a batter plays well. But if I can create opportunities, then it allows us to bring back on guys like Ish and Bolty to try and really crack open a game. And, T20 cricket's, such a fickle game that if you can have a little period where you take 2 or 3 wickets and 2 or 3 overs, that can really change the game.
And beyond this third game against Bangladesh, Pakistan arrived for 5 T20s, then Australia come across for 3 T20s in February. How keen are you to lock horns with Australia again, in particular in T20 cricket? They're obviously our big brother, I guess, across the ditch, and we always love competing against them. We had a lot of success a couple of years ago, just after COVID, when we played them in 5 T20s over here. So good memories from that series, and always love locking horns with the best teams in the world. So you've certainly got that circled on the calendar. But having said that, we've got Pakistan, as you mentioned before that, and then the back end of this series too. So they come thick and fast, and I think there's a whole lot to, I suppose, sort out before the T20 World Cup in May, June. It'll be interesting to see how we mix things up and the opportunities we give different guys. But for us as players, it's just about going out and, I suppose, putting the best foot forward, looking after our own jobs, and hopefully winning games for our country. Yeah, big year coming. Is the weather any better today in the Mount? Yeah, it's lovely today. It's quite annoying, actually. I think, yesterday was meant to be bad most of the day, but it was quite clear from kind of midday till 7 or 8, and then as soon as the cricket started, it started pissing down. And today's, I'm looking at some blue sky at the moment, so no doubt it'll all close in by about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. No doubt. Great to chat as always, Jimmy. Thanks for taking our call.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.